most likely going to be another rate hike coming in. They meet September 19th, I believe again, 19th, 20th.
Hey there, everyone. Dave Barlow here with the gang from Sell for 1%. We've got Jay DeBomb. We have Jay Marinsky celebrating his 29th birthday, broadcasting live from his vacation spot in the Philippines. Happy birthday, James.
Thank you.
And we have Ryan Cochran, Ryan in with NFM Lending for all your lending needs. Ryan, yesterday we had the Fed bump rates by 0.25%. Let's talk about where interest rates are today and what do you see coming at us?
Great question. So where we didn't see really too big of an effect from everything that went on from the Fed's meeting. From going from top tier profile to little lower tier profile, you're going to see interest rates anywhere from the mid fives to the mid sevens and anywhere in between, just depending on your specific situation. So we didn't see anything drastically change. We actually saw a tiny bit of an improvement on interest rates yesterday.
Good.
And that is likely due to the fact that we were already anticipating the mortgage interest rates were already anticipating the Fed's raising the interest rate, or the rate back in May. I think they announced that they were going to plan on rating it 1/4 to 0.5%. So we already had defenses that were already there and ready to set and go in place. And I believe that just the correction and the proof of the positive reflection on the interest rates yesterday happened because we were so defensive that we knew that was going to happen. We were already prepared for it. So it was a little bit better as for the Fed meeting that had the effect on the mortgage interest rates.
And I think people were happy. I think people were happy with the comments afterwards from Chairman Powell that he was pretty neutral on what they would be doing here in the future. And I think that helped bolster the stock markets and interest rates and everything else as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think he mentioned that there's a pathway forward is a quote from him that he had mentioned, which is 100% true. I think that they did announce that they're most likely going to be another rate hike coming in. They meet September 19th, I believe again, 19th, 20th. So we're anticipating maybe another rate hike, which again, the mortgage interest rates won't have too big of a swing in differences at that time because we are already going to be anticipating it. So mortgage rates aren't going to be dreadfully impactful on these things. Now, it could end up being a good thing that they don't even raise the Fed rates at all. Then that would be a positive overall for the economy.
And so from a market perspective, Ryan, you just mentioned that anywhere from mid fives to mid sevens, depending on your financial situation, credit score, so on and so forth. If somebody goes out, they find a house. Mid sixes. Okay.
Fives would be off the rate, but
well, that's what I was kind of thinking. And so we'll rewind the tape here to see what you did say, but at 6.5% is not a bad deal. It seems like to us that the market's kind of settling in right now to around 7% interest rates. Buyers are becoming a little more comfortable with it, if you can use that word, with 7%, but maybe biting the bullet is a better word to use there. So anyways, so 6.5 to 7.5%. That's not bad in today's world.
No, I agree. And I agree with you that a lot of individuals are getting more comfortable with the higher interest rates. But like I've said in the past, because there is higher interest rates, it's keeping a lot of players on the sideline. So it's kind of keeping those purchase prices controlled right now. But you better believe when those interest rates go down, that purchase prices are going to go up because it's going to bring a lot of those players back off into the playing field.
Well, we normally see here in August July and August, once we get beyond July 4th, and Jay, you might want to talk about this a little bit, is that we normally see July and August just kind of being a slower couple of months to begin with. What are you seeing, Jay?
I mean, seasonally, that's what normally will happen here in Columbus. You normally pick up, market starts third week of January, will accelerate into the best 2 months, which are going to be May and June for resale value. And then July 4th, after you get past that holiday, I know that I'm trying to jam all my listings on before July 4th.
Yeah.
And then, now that we're here at the end of July, I'm trying to jam them all in before school starts. So each kind of landmark we hit, it will slow down. So when I say landmarks, July 4th, school starting, Labor Day, when we get into Halloween, slows down even more. Thanksgiving, it will slow even more. Christmas and New Year's, it hits the bottom.
Yep.
And then again starts to pick back up for the spring. And so that's our normal market cycle. So seasonally, the fall is typically a little tighter and rougher. This is when realtors take vacations. And so as interest rates are going up, as prices are going up, I'm really anxious to kind of see what the fall looks like, because this summer, it was off the hook. I mean, we were selling things all-time high prices again, and we still are. So it's great time to be a seller still. But, to put a bow on this, if you're on that fence, I mean, to me, no one has a crystal ball, but I'm expecting prices to start coming down as we head closer to winter. And then, any luck, they'll pick back up again in the spring and we hit the ground running again. But it's like, if you're on the fence about selling, I would get that on now, because who knows what's going to happen in the next 6-12 months between elections, economy, world events, BRICS, all this stuff going on. So right now the getting's good, but it is slowing up compared to June and July, as you would expect.
Sure. And Jay Marinsky, you seem like you're awful busy with buyers right now. What are you seeing out there?
Yeah, I think it's just inventory is low. There isn't a ton of stuff out there to buy. And so when nice homes do hit the market, there's still a bit of a feeding frenzy, especially when it's priced right.
Right.
You price it too high for the market, people catch on to that, and you can sit for a while, and we're seeing some things sit a little longer than normal. I think our average days on market are increasing a bit. But it's still, I mean, with my buyers still feeding frenzy, and still with sellers, things are selling pretty easily. So, like Jay said, I think it's a good time to jump off the fence and make a move. We don't have a crystal ball, so who knows what happens here, like Jay said, in the next 6 to 12 months.
All right. So yeah, I'm kind of seeing the same thing with, houses, if they're priced right. We're still getting many bidding wars, mini, MINI. Wasn't like it was a year and a half ago where we'd have 50 offers. But if it's priced right, we're still seeing 4 or 5 offers come in. And that's a good thing for sellers. Maybe it's a lot better than it was a year and a half ago for buyers. And we're seeing interest rates kind of stabilize around that 7%. I know that it seems like to me, Ryan, when we see interest rates drop just below 7%, there's a little pickup in the market. When it goes over 7%, it kind of stalls a little bit. Are you seeing kind of the same thing?
100%. Yeah. When they tend to go below 6s or into the 6s, people start to come off the sideline. That 7% is just as scary for a lot of people. You could be at a 6.99 and then go into a 7, and people are like, "Oh no, I am not going to do this anymore." But yeah, 100%. When you get to the 6s, we are seeing that, and I think that that's what's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen the rest of this year. I think we're kind of going to stay steady where we're at ish. I think when we're really going to start to potentially push and stay in between like the 6s to a 7, it's going to be in 2024, in the presidential election year. I am hopeful. Again, we don't have a crystal ball, but I'm hopeful that will push interest rates down run that 6s into 7s. But when that does happen again, it's going to create this feeding frenzy. Now, it's good what Jay said, because if seasonally we see that fall starts to die off a little bit, so you still could take advantage of getting a good purchase price at that time with a 6% interest rate.
Yeah, I think overall, to kind of dovetail into what Jay was talking about, year over year, I think we're off about 17% as far as the number of listings coming onto the market. But the last report that we have, we set an all-time new record for the second month in a row as far as average home sale price, which is up in the 340 range now. 342, I think, was the number. So we are seeing, kind of this yin and yang. And the real problem being is that a lot of home sellers that are sitting there with a 3% interest rate are like, yeah, why would I sell and go get a 7% interest rate? And that's kind of causing the lack of inventory, which then causes home prices to go up. And then on the interest rate side, on the buyer side, it's kind of slowed the number of buyers in the market because, well, I'll just wait until interest rates come down. And by the time that you wait for interest rates to come down, let's say you wait 6 months, wait a year. We've had buyers back in 2 years ago in the hot market. I'll just wait for the housing market to crash. And, housing prices up another 50,000 on average. And so what you think you were going to save, you lost because housing prices are up and now interest rates are up. So you got the old double shotgun there. But like I say, we're seeing a few more houses come on competitively priced. And then with buyers, I think they are starting to settle in and accept 7% as the quote, as the new norm, unquote. So, all right, Ryan. Well, thank you very much for your time here this morning. If you guys, his name, number, all his information is right there on the screen. If you're thinking about buying a home, NFM does a great job of getting you from point A, which is thinking about buying, to point B, which is at the closing table. And Ryan does a wonderful job of making sure all the T's are crossed, the I's are dots, and that you get the absolute best deal. So thanks again, Ryan.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
And remember, if you're thinking about buying or selling, do it now because it's going to get worse.